Elite Lady here, reporting for duty, and if you're actually hearing any sounds in relation to dogs barking, it's just my surveillance camera. I'm just making sure I watch the door while no one is actually at the house that I'm watching. It doesn't matter. I got eyes. I got good eyes. I got good ears. So if ever I actually get interrupted, don't blame me. That's just real life. Anyways, I was actually browsing through YouTube at the moment, and I actually saw one of the subscribed channels, Blame Truth the COD Father, actually upload a video. And oh boy, we have a bit of a situation here. Basically, Battlefield 6 is turning its content to a little bit of a questionable thing, because if you're talking about integrity and accuracy when it comes to how Battlefield is supposed to be, get ready to be offended, because Battlefield 6 has not been doing well. Well, the player base is okay, but the problem is the updates to Battlefield 6 is turning a little iffy, especially with the release of RedSec, the DLC. Now, I'm not playing Battlefield 6 yet, so I should not care about this, but I am looking forward to actually playing Battlefield 6, all considering that I am within reach of Windows 11, because there is a possibility I might actually get the update that I need to get to Windows 11. As long as I'm careful. As long as I am very careful at what I'm going to do next. Okay? But considering that I have been warning for a while that Battlefield 6 might actually be changed to something we don't recognize, guys, it's coming true. We're going to be reacting to Blame Truth's video. I think I'm done with Battlefield 6 after today's update. And apparently he doesn't like the update, the latest patch. Let's see what he has to say. Oh god.
Blame Truth here, and I don't want the title of this video to be taken the wrong way, because I have nearly 120 hours played on Battlefield 6. I think
it should be enjoyable, so yeah.
In a first-person shooter since X-Defiant, and I might even like it more. I think I actually am more addicted to Battlefield 6 than I was X-Defiant. It's so fun. I think it's the most fun I've had in an FPS since, I don't know, 2015 or so, that ballpark. So I love this game, I really do. So please,
I mean, X-Defiant was a work of its own.
And to convene,
it didn't resonate well with many.
Brain-rotted TikTok motherfucker that finds their way to my channel can shut the fuck up and just click around and see all the points and watch it at 4 times speed or whatever helps their bong resin-infested brain. Sorry, but
endorphin hits are not the only. They're not the only ways that you can actually get to understand how a movie works. Please just watch the video.
Idiocracy, the movie, was a documentary. Regardless, I feel like I have been missing out on Battlefield since Bad Company 2. That was the last one I played quite a bit, and I regret it. I totally get why Battlefield fans are so passionate about this game. I'm just addicted to the gameplay. I love the fucking gameplay. I really do. So that's why it pains me to say I might need to step away from this game, and I'm going to try to explain why as best I can in this video. Let's get right on into the meat and potatoes here so I can explain where I'm coming from, because I got a lot I want to get off my shit.
Yeah, this is what he said on the last one.
If you missed the last video, I don't think YouTube pushed it out properly, or maybe the video just sucked, I don't know. But I made a video and I talked about how in 2021, I believe it was, on the Battlefield 2042 subreddit, and this is like documented real stuff, EA had bots on the subreddit making positive posts about Battlefield 2042 despite its sucking fat.
Unfortunately, there are bots in Reddit now.
When I found this out through researching some Call of Duty crap they're doing now, that rubbed me the wrong way. Just first and foremost, I'm like, wow, if they are capable of that, that was not that long ago. If they are capable of that, what are EA capable of with Battlefield 6 if something...
Well, EA is going to be given more reason to use
it's actually
AI and bots, because now they got more money.
That's insanely impressive.
From the Saudis.
It's not on the super old hardware. You know, the PS4 that's infested with roaches, so Jethro can't even trade it into GameStop. They will not accept it. Those types. I think that makes up like 40% of the console player base are still those types. I mean, no hating. I get it, man. Stuff's expensive, and if you don't have to upgrade, I don't really blame you for not wanting to. But the point is that things are going well right now, and they're on their best behavior. It remains to be seen if something goes wrong, what they will do. So just finding that out put an incredibly bad taste in my mouth. And I don't think I am being like too dramatic here. You guys have to remember, I have been covering Activision Blizzard and all of their bullshit for the past 6 years. Every step of the way, I've covered, I think, every controversy they have done. So to see this, I'm like, this is an Activision Blizzard move 100%.
What is going on?
To show that all of these companies, even if the devs are doing right by us, all of these companies own them, and they're in control. They have the final say. So that's kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, but it's relatively minor. It is. It's relatively minor. I want to get into the major portion, though. And it starts with today's update.
What is going on?
For Battlefield 6 was actually a really good one. It fixed a lot of the issues with the game. It fixed the bloom bugs, which were happening with different movement and stuff like that, which was really frustrating me, to be completely honest with you. I was about to hang up the boots, so to speak, until they came out with this fix today out of nowhere. They fixed the drone sledgehammer bug, so people can't get on top of buildings they're not supposed to get on top of anymore. So that's cool. They fixed the air support, flares not stopping the tank.
They're okay then.
Not properly. So they fixed a lot of bugs. They fixed the vehicles not spawning in on certain game modes randomly for a certain team or whatever. And these are all great changes. They are. However, let me just check my Casio watch here. Let me check this out here. So it's 3:22 p.m. as of me recording this particular section in the video, and it's 11:11. Make a wish. I'm already here. You can stop. 2025. The problem with getting all these fixes now is that Battlefield 6 came out a month ago.
Yes.
And
what took them so long?
I'm still rocketing in the air like a Mario brother randomly when I hit something in the map that's like kind of off geometry-wise. I don't really know what causes that. It's kind of funny, but I'm kind of sick of it, especially when I rocket in the air like Luigi in Mario Bros. 2, and then all of a sudden I get shot by a sniper or something like that. That gets kind of old. There's a weird bug. I'm not sure if this is new or what, but sometimes my sight just becomes a thermal sight.
Thermal holographic.
There's unfortunately just a lot of bugs that still need addressing. A month to get these bugs fixed.
Oh, man.
I appreciate that they are listening, but I have to just say this. They are moving too slow. Now, on one hand, if they move too fast and they release patches out...
They try to be trendy, but they're slow on the uptakes when it comes to what needs to be fixed on patches.
Ground, I'm not sure what's going on there, but like, maybe just a middle ground.
Oh, my God.
I'm the first to stick up for the devs and say, yes, they are listening. Give it time. Give them like a week or whatever after Blackwell Fields dropped, but it took longer than a week. And now I'm like, okay, well, the fixes they said would be there on the launch of Season 1 did not get implemented, did not get pushed out, so I'm just sitting here with my dick in my hand waiting. And I appreciate they are listening, but man, these bug fixes take entirely too long. And the thing you have to remember here, and why I'm kind of negative about this, is that this is when they're really trying and competing, and they're trying to take on Call of Duty. This is them full throttle. It's taking a long time to get fixes. Not sure what the issue is there, but man, a month to fix some of these bugs. And
yes, it is not good.
It's a bit of a problem, but that's not the thing that worries me the most. This is.
Has there been any timeline communicated for patching the numerous bugs that have been present for weeks now?
How long is it going to take for bugs to get fixed? I understand I probably have PTSD.
I know Battlefield 6 is a great game, but yeah.
I've been playing
when it comes to bug fixes, bug fixes, they got to really step up the reaction time.
I've played it for the past few years, and my God.
It is a really great anticipated game, but they've really got to step up better.
I can't just have a consistent...
All those changes are appreciated, they just got to step up the rate.
And I'm always waiting on the next fix or the next that, and it's like, I can't just have a good, complete game and then they add to it. That's just not how these games work. And I have to think, it's the same logic that I've talked about with Call of Duty. If Battlefield 6 ends up being the perfect game, are they going to sell us the next time Battlefield 7? What are they going to sell us?
That is true.
7. You know, it's just like plan.
If the game turns out great, the sequel has to turn out okay.
You've had a phone that's got
mediocre to okay is good. Not perfect, but as long as this game actually goes well.
A little white flag raises up out of the ashes and says, please buy the next model. Steve Jobs has demanded it from hell. Stuff like that.
The next model doesn't have to be bought. Okay, let's just be real. The next model doesn't have to be bought if the current model already works for you and it's already convenient for you. Let's just be real about this.
Regardless, that's not even the biggest thing. And after a brief word from this video sponsor, I'm going to talk about the main reason I think I need to step away from Battlefield 6. And it pains me to say this, but it needs to be said and I need to talk about it. But first, let me talk to you about Black Forest high flavanol cocoa powder. And here's what's insane. A study with 21,000 people just showed that this might reduce a heart attack by 27%. Cocoa flavanols keep your arteries flexible, unlike
if this is a sponsor.
Regular shot.
Amazing benefits for the heart. Decreased blood pressure because you're getting increased nitric through HD. This is where
vascular support, better blood flow, technically that blood flow. Just get it in your link in the pinned comment or video description. Grab the deal while it lasts.
High flavanol cocoa. Okay then.
All right, guys, welcome back to the video. Thank you, BFS, for the sponsor again. So if you guys have played Battlefield 6 or any other Battlefield for any amount of time, please back me up here and tell me I'm not crazy. Like, share your experiences in the comments section below. But my main reason for wanting to step away from Battlefield 6 has to be this right here. Let me just show you some examples of what I'm talking about. I don't think there's any EOMM or SBMM in Battlefield 6.
Yeah, if there were, people players would demand immediately to remove it. Of course.
But I feel like the team balancing, and to a lesser extent the player base as a whole, something is just really wrong here. Let me just talk about the team balancing first and foremost. I have improved quite a bit at Battlefield 6, to the point where I am like top 5 nearly every match, no matter what. But there are certain matches where it just seems like no matter what I do, no matter how good I do, there is just literally no chance. Now, I understand stuff like this can happen in a no SBMM world, but I have to ask, is the team balancing broken? Do people just not know what the fuck they're doing on my team? Is the fact that I consistently get top 5 pairing me with the worst of the worst? In other games like, let's say, X-Defiant or even Call of Duty, where it's a much smaller team, 6v6, for example, if I get stuck with a bad team, there's still a chance I can carry. If I get stuck with a bad team on Battlefield 6, 32v32, there's basically no fucking chance at all. If I am playing solo and I get a bad squad, I'm just boned. Like, I need a good squad to, like, spawn in and help me take a point or whatever, but if they're at the back of the map sniping or doing whatever, I mean, there's just no way I can win the game. Now, here's the thing. It's not all about wins and losses. I actually don't even really fucking care if I win or lose.
Okay.
I care about if I am having fun. Repeatedly asking my teammate for ammo and he just ignores me despite being a support player is not very fun. Losing by like 600 tickets to the enemy team is not very fun. And
basically, you got to know how the game works. You got to know what your role is, and you abide by the role because it's always a role-based. It's always role-based gameplay. That's what. Considering it is squad roleplay, role-based.
This happens constantly, like to the point of absurdity. I will either completely steamroll the opposition, like in this particular screenshot right here, or for like 5 matches in a row, I just cannot buy a win. And it's not even close. Sometimes I'll get a more close game. I'm not talking like razor close, but just somewhat competitive. And those games seem to be the most enjoyable. I actually like when the matches are close in Battlefield 6. It's a lot of fun. Like, the most fun in Battlefield 6 for me playing Conquest is battling it out over a particular point and having like that mini battle at that particular point, and then you either take it or you don't. And it's super satisfying when you take it, but if you take it, you can go take another point, and it's just a back and forth thing. It's a lot of fun. There are way too many matches, and I notice this happening more as I play, where it's just a blowout.
I know a lot of you have been actually looking into my content, especially if it's new or if it's actually hip and trendy, but what the heck is this? And I really just get it that you guys are actually looking for a lot of content, and trust me, there is content here on my end. I just gotta get it together and make sure I try to cater to a certain niche. I just can't do that often if you guys don't actually subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is actually available on this QR code right over here. And then definitely, if you guys try to find the time, like the video, subscribe to my channel. You can actually do that. It's actually pretty simple. You click the subscribe button, and then you turn on the notification bell so that you can actually be tuned into every upload, every publish. So I just got to be very thankful, especially for those who were able to subscribe for, at least from years ago. I just didn't, however, figure that apparently new audiences are the new thing for me. Still, I'm actually thanking my old subscribers who are actually there for me for a while, until it's apparent that y'all might not be interacting too much, which I actually find is actually okay. Watch my content at your own pace. I'm just going to keep dishing out and just making sure that I catch up to being in the hip and shreddy as much as I can, because I need the attention, the validation, and the love of my audience. So, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get to 2,000.
I cannot explain it. Those more close encounters, those more close matches are rare. Again, I don't even want to win all the time. That's not my issue, although it does seem I lose a lot more than I win despite placing top 5. I just want the game to be kind of back and forth and fun. It doesn't have to be razor close again. It could be like by 200, 400 tickets or whatever. But like, it just seems like a fun back and forth match where people are actually playing the fucking game and playing the fucking objective. It's getting more and more rare. And that leads me to my next point here. And this one's a doozy. This one might hurt some feelings, but I need to say it regardless. I think the actual issue here are the people playing the game. Now, guys, look, I've been playing FPS for a long time. I've been noting how people play for a long fucking time. Something is just wrong with the Battlefield 6 players. I understand that Battlefield 6 is not the most intuitive game. There's a lot that could be explained in the menus. Maybe that's it. Maybe, most of the player base cannot be bothered to go watch a 20-minute Westy video. Maybe it goes back to the whole brain rot thing. Maybe Westy needs to make his videos 30-second shorts and break them up into 20 different parts or whatever. I don't know. But maybe it's all of these things. Maybe it's just the decline of skill in the FPS community. I'm not saying that people that play Battlefield 6 are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that with all of these stupid matchmaking algorithms and other shooters, and maybe the fact that people just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what has happened. But the biggest lie I have ever seen pushed around in FPS lore is that players, Monday players, are better than ever.
That is completely different. Oh boy. Look, any player is always a different player. Jeez.
Fucking shit, man. And here's the thing. Battlefield 6, from what I can tell in the mode I play, Conquest, does not have any sort of matchmaking, no EOMM, no SBMM, none of that. It just has team balancing. So either the team balancing is really messed up, or something it's just wrong with the player base. And I don't know what it is. Let me just explain here. Let me break this down to a science. I'm going to explain what I experience from match to match. And please, again, back me up on this if you've experienced this too.
I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but okay, yeah. Well.
Match 1 on Conquest, Operation Firestorm. One team, either yours or the enemy team, will just sit in the mountains and snipe, and the tickets and everything else does not matter. I like Operation Firestorm, the map, when people are trying, and it's vehicular warfare, and it's long-range warfare, but most people just do not try. And it ends up being a 600 to nothing ticket blowout on Conquest, and everyone is bored. Match 2, Iberian Offensive. Everyone's pushing C, but you have medics on your team that will simply not revive you. No matter what you do, you can say in chat, hey, please.
Basically, there's a problem with some of the players. Individually, there's a problem with some of the players. Basically, it's supposed to be squad-based, right? Yeah, they gotta get with the game. They gotta understand how the game works. It's supposed to be how it works. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Use your paddles. Please revive me. They will not revive you. In the off chance they do revive you, they do a half-health revive, and you are revived right into enemy fire. They don't even check. They don't check. They don't use their smokes. Nothing. Match 3. Liberation Peak.
Now I get what he's saying. Basically, modern players who are actually the most casual, if you guys are going to get into a game, you got to know how a game works, know how the basics are, and if it's a team-based game, you got to be mostly or absolutely in sync with your squad to actually win a match. If it's a squad-based game, especially, you've got to be mostly in sync, somewhat in sync, but at least be in sync with your squad so that your squad succeeds in almost any scenario. Heck, every scenario if possible. That's how it should work in a team-based game.
You and your squad managed to take points. It's nothing. It's pretty easy. You and your squad wipe out entire teams at points, and you take those points. Meanwhile, the rest of your team has lost every single point on the map. Somehow. You're 2 or 3, 4 people in your squad taking on like 15 guys at one point, and yet somehow, even with the numbers, the rest of your team cannot take the other points in the map. Most of the time, they're just kind of sitting on rooftops watching the points as you clear out the dudes around them, but the dudes continue to respawn there, so you're just trying to, like, I don't know, kill as many as you can, but
that is they're completely leaving their teammates alone for what? Bro.
Futile because they refuse to hop on the objective. That's something I've noticed a lot. A lot of people are allergic to the objective. It depends on your role, of course. If I'm playing Assault, I like to, pick people off on the sides while my team get the point. I like to maybe throw some grenades or use my assault ladder to get some head glitch position and just shoot them. But sometimes that does not work because your team will not cap the point. Now, I don't want to sound too negative here. Sometimes you do get like a good medic or a good group of medics or a good group of engineers, and it's so noticeably different. It's like playing an entirely different game. It's so radically inconsistent how bad someone can be at their role in Battlefield and how good someone can be match to match. And you don't have to be God's gift to FPS to be a good Battlefield player. You just got to play your role and do it well and learn how your role works and just use some common sense. A lot of Battlefield is just common sense, and it seems like it's just gone. And I can't lie to you guys. I cannot lie to you guys. Even if my squad is good, and usually they're pretty good, it doesn't matter some matches because the matches are just too big. But I like the big team battle aspect of Battlefield. So it is just quite frustrating a lot of the time. And I can't lie about it. Like, I think the player base just, I don't know what they need to do. I don't know what needs to be done. A big giant tutorial that you cannot skip that teaches you how to play the game or something.
Yeah.
But the thing is that these people I'm talking about in these matches aren't new. They're like level 40, 50, 60, 70 even. Sometimes they're like level 100 plus, and they're still just not fucking care. Like, I don't know if it's just selfishness from Call of Duty. And yeah, this is going to piss some people off too, but I need to say it. It's like people have canceled their Black Ops 7 pre-orders and have come over. And I hate to throw Call of Duty players under the bus, but this is exactly how Call of Duty's players play.
Exactly. Basically, they're making people guilty for actually killing off Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is bad and worse than it's worse than Battlefield right now. So probably this is just a revenge. This is something to actually avenge the slow death of Call of Duty because of Battlefield's success. Probably Call of Duty players coming over to Battlefield probably to sabotage every game they get involved in. Probably, if that's actually how it is, damn, they're really low right now. Those are absolute low blows.
There are people playing this game that will sit at the back of the map and just snipe, for example, and ruin the whole match for everyone.
Basically, they're throwing.
I don't.
So basically, they're throwing then.
But it is infuriating. Not even infuriating. It's flat out fucking boring. I think Battlefield 6, when people are actually playing to win and playing for the objective and just trying to play the game as it's intended to be played, is the most fun I have ever had on a first-person shooter. And I'm not making that up. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd make this video because I can deal with the bugs and I can deal with the game not being perfect or whatever. But on one hand, from the publisher side, I'm a bit worried that things will go south pretty quickly. And two, I don't know what's going on with the player base.
Yes.
I don't know. I never really experienced this in Bad Company 2, for example, when I played that way back in the day. Even older Call of Duty games, players seem to at least be trying. But something about modern day gamers, they're selfish, they're ADHD, they don't want to learn, they don't want to improve, they don't give a fuck, and they kind of ruin the experience for everyone, and it just sucks.
Basically, they got nothing to do but just be there and not learn the atmosphere of the game. What you want to do as a modern gamer is understand that if you want to love a game and have the game love you and have everyone else love you for what you're doing, you're going to have to understand how the game works. And you've got to stop being the center of the universe every time in a multiplayer game. Stop thinking that you're the center of the universe for once.
I gotta be honest with you, it fucking sucks. Regardless, speaking of fucking sucking, Black Ops 7 is coming out in, 3 days? Joy. I will be covering that when it drops. I will still be playing Battlefield 6. I'll check out the November 18th map drop or whatever. But I think this week I'm going to try to just take a break and see what Call of Duty's doing. And I might be back on Battlefield 6, but good God, man. I hope the player base improves after Call of Duty comes out. Please don't think I'm just complaining for the sake of it, but you know what I'm talking about if you played any amount of Battlefield 6, about the players just being selfish or oblivious or what have you. It's definitely worse than it's ever been, and I know I'm not imagining it. And it's making each match very unfun. It's like wildly inconsistent what I'm getting here, because I don't know. It seems like the more close matches are just a rarity now. The more fun matches are becoming more of a rarity. And I don't want to see that happen, because when Battlefield is fun, man, it is fun. I get why you guys, the Battlefield vets, are so invested in this series. I genuinely think this, if they keep improving it and things continue to get better and maybe the players, start to learn things more, I think this has the bones to be my favorite Battlefield. I know that's crazy because it's a Call of Duty-esque Battlefield and whatnot, and people will bitch about that. But I don't know, man. I think if they continue to improve things and continue to move in the right direction, maybe a bit quicker, that would be a good thing that would offset a lot of the players playing like dipshits. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a different kind of style of video. I get it and whatnot. I really like to talk about the gameplay sometimes. It gets boring covering news and whatnot constantly. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm going to take a break from Battlefield 6 at least until the 18th and see what shitty Call of Duty is going to drop in my lap. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.
I'm going to be real with you. I think Battlefield is being sabotaged a little by Call of Duty players because they're sour that their favorite franchise is being beaten to a pulp because they don't understand that the publisher is definitely greenlighting a game rush of how Battlefield 6 works. Greenlighting questionable designs. Greenlighting questionable mechanics. Greenlighting questionable gameplay policies that actually make Call of Duty right now the husk of what it once was. Okay? We're at a point in which Call of Duty at this point is just nothing. It's nothing anymore. To the point that only the streamers who are actually making it big are the only ones being watched. Meanwhile, the casual player base is being brutalized by what? The sweaty players who try to actually make Call of Duty so much so the absolute try-hard type of game franchise that it is. It's really just sad right now. Call of Duty used to be fun until eventually the publishers who are making the Call of Duty games decided to just go all for profit and less for creativity and pro gamer sentimentality. Basically, Call of Duty is not in a good place right now. Battlefield 6 If Call of Duty players ruin Battlefield 6 as it is because Battlefield 6 is more successful than Call of Duty, we'll be seeing more of a good reason to actually try to destroy Call of Duty as it is. Let's just be real. Black Ops 7 is anticipated only because there is a continuation from the Future Line story, one that involves Raul Menendez. The only reason why Black Ops 7 is being hyped right now is because, first, the campaign. Second, how will the multiplayer be? Because if both the campaign sucks and the multiplayer sucks, then obviously it's going to be a flop. Vanguard was an absolute flop. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Roman numeral 3 was also an absolute flop. Bad story, bad game modes, bad everything. I feel like the best Call of Duty that we get ever since the first Modern Warfare in 2019 is only up to Modern Warfare 2019, and that's it. We can't get anything better out of Activision Blizzard because they really just squeezed the life out of Call of Duty as it is. And now Call of Duty players are raging and they're ruining Battlefield 6 just because they're being bad teammates. The soy boys at Call of Duty just don't want to see their own franchise fail, and now they're sabotaging Battlefield 6's multiplayer. Blame Truth has said it himself. He's getting bad teammates. Those are Call of Duty teammates. Those are modern player types who don't learn how to play and read the atmosphere of a certain game. Look, I don't want to kick them out, but they really need to understand. They really need to understand that their types ruin how a game works because they don't know how to play that game. They've got to understand that their types ruin the game. I'm not saying that they should be kicked out or pulled out forcefully, but they should absolutely make sure that they understand their type ruins the game. And it doesn't look good for them. Well, I guess this is it. Pretty much there's nothing new in regards to Battlefield 6, except that Battlefield 6's player base is starting to get mixed up with modern players who first do not understand how the game works, and then they have to understand how the game works once they get to multiplayer, or the easiest parts of the multiplayer, at least. Understand how the games work. They should look at forums, like how normal people do, to get ahead and to catch up. If they can't do that, it'll ruin Battlefield 6. And of course, EA isn't actually addressing the problems with the player base themselves, so how exactly are we going to trust EA to actually be effective, to make a good community? We can't. So yeah. Well, this is it. This is my reaction of that video. It's really sad to see that EA is not stepping up when it comes to the rate of patches that they need to put onto a game, and they also do not care about how the community works. Activision Blizzard cares only because they want to make sure that their game succeeds at the cost of actually removing the soul of it. Battlefield 6, meanwhile, it's still very successful against Call of Duty. Problem is that EA doesn't care about its communities enough. So this is where we are. Another depressing update. I'm not too depressed though, so I'm okay, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. So stay safe out there, and cheers.